So I'm at Smallfield Place today in Surrey, and wow, what a phenomenal venue this is. This is one of the most stunning wedding venues you will ever visit. I'm Alan Harbord. I'm very proud to be a recommended supplier as a wedding photographer of this venue. So this house was actually built around about 1610. It's a Jacobean house, and Anne Boleyn has actually stayed here. So should we go and take a look inside? So let's start with the bridal suite, because that, from a photographer's point of view, that's where we start our days. I'm going to come in here and start taking candid shots of getting ready and things and details and stuff like that. And what a bridal suite. As you can see, this is a fantastic room. It's a huge space, beautiful. It's intimate, but it's huge at the same time. It's got really interesting features, chandelier, amazing mullioned windows, and then just this sort of walkway into this stunning bathroom area. All of this, the whole thing sort of adds up to something which is a perfect backdrop for getting ready pictures. So everything's ready, bridal prep's all done, everyone is looking amazing. This is the first walk of the bride. This is where she comes out of the bridal suite, down these stairs into this room, and this is a little like an ante-room. This is a study, and this is the area where she can just spend just a few minutes to chill out before she goes through. It's also the time the registrar can do her legal bit. So the bride, she comes out of the study through the sitting room, and this is the great entrance of the bride. The guests are waiting. This room is normally set up with all the chairs. The guests are waiting in here, and she walks down here. The registrars are here waiting. So as we come out into the gardens, oh my goodness, they are just so wow, they're stunning. I mean, this is the winter, but in the spring, summer, autumn, it's always stunning here. As you can see, very manicured. I'll give you a little show around. But this area here, I mean, this is where people immediately come out to afterwards. It's fantastic for canapes, champagne, people mingling. And if they want to wander around, there's so much scope in the garden. There's so many little rooms in this garden. There's pockets everywhere. There's different levels. There's waterways. There's ponds, lilies in the ponds, and it's just, what more could you want? And this area here is particularly good for having the couple here, where I can be right down there. I can get really interesting shots. That works at night too. Some fantastic night shots to be had with water. I've used creative lighting techniques. There's a couple of things which tricks I have up my sleeve, which I use for things like that to create some really unique kinds of shots. Steps are always really useful for group shots. Little sort of interesting steps like this are fantastic for sort of groups where you want a bit more of an informal shot, not a kind of a rigid family formal, but something a little less formal than that, maybe bridesmaids. Steps are always great. So many places in this garden where people can sit, brides and grooms can actually sit down. And one of the things I love about all these rooms in this garden is frames. I always like to frame photographs. So you've got things above and things to the side. Frames the couple. So I said about framing and things, and I love this pond because you've got this beautiful framing of these trees above, different in different seasons, and in the summer we've got a lot of leaf going on. So these lawns, they're fantastic. It's always great to have a good piece of lawn where you can use. They're great for lawn games and other things like that, and just areas where guests can mingle and explore and lose yourself without getting actually lost. It's not too big and park-like and rambling you get lost, but you totally lose yourself in this place. It's beautiful. Also, lawn's fantastic for groups, family formal shots or group shots, to get people assembled really quickly and just get those really memorable shots you'll treasure. So this is another room to the house. This is the dining room, and this is fantastic if you're having a really intimate size kind of reception, and where you have about 12 people seated. It's absolutely stunning little place. And I've seen it set up for a small wedding. It is absolutely the most beautifully lovely kind of intimate reception. So like many venues, or pretty much all venues, there are some darker places where the level of light is much darker. You can't actually see that on this video, but to the naked eye you don't either, but to a camera it's got a much more difficult job. There's a couple of tricks I have up my sleeve. There are a couple of techniques which I use to overcome this. Partly it's technique, partly it's equipment. So I always consider that no venue is too dark for me to be able to produce sparkling, colourful, great photos. So this is yet another favourite spot for lovely bride and groom pictures. This is, these windows, or this window is just magnificent. It's, I don't know if you can see, it's very wibbly wobbly. It's so old, but again, old but beautiful condition and stunningly preserved. So this venue, you will notice, is just jam-packed full of lovely, beautiful features. I love arches like this and doorways, which are just so interesting. They're old, but it's weird. It's kind of that old, but they're in immaculate condition. So also this little cozy area is fantastic for cut the cake shots. Normally we have the cake placed right here, and people can look at it, its grandeur throughout the day, and then in the evening the couple do the cake cuts, and everyone's gathered around. Great atmosphere, fantastic room for that. So for the evening, the whole room's turned around, and it is now, there's a dance floor, a band or DJ, whichever you prefer, is going on, and a beautiful backdrop of a venue for evening shots. The first dance, the dancing, just general partying, and people mingling and having a party and having fun. So through wedding shows, I meet so many brides and grooms. I've met literally thousands, even in the last year or two. I talk to so many brides and so many grooms about their ideas and what they like and what they think is good, what they like, what they don't like with photography. And unanimously, they again and again, they always say to me, natural, I want natural shots, natural pictures, non-forced, non-cheesy, looking at the camera and saying cheese type thing, the opposite of that. And this is all quite handy for me because as a business, Alan Harwood Wedding Photography, if it could have a middle name, my middle name is Natural. Because natural shots are the way to go, because if you don't look natural in your pictures, you don't look like you. And if you don't like you, what's the point of capturing it? So